dum. Da, 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 dum. That song is always in my head.
The song is so good. Who sings that?
I have no idea. Get low. Get low. That always makes me think of
a movie I'm not gonna know.
You'll know this. The Proposal.
Oh.
With Anna.
Is that when she's in the forest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is a good one.
I knew you would know that one.
Knew you would know.
I knew you would know. I love talking like this. Be guided. What's yours?
Well Rested Tea.
Oh.
At Trader Joe's.
Thank you. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Polite as Fuck. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing well. We are spicing it up this week. Spicing it up this week. Because community and friendship is all good and stuff, but you know what's even better than community and friendships and running marathons? Oral sex. I don't know why this came to me, but I was like, I just feel like I want to talk about it. I don't really I did not come with you for an exact topic, but I was like, oral sex needs to be talked about.
We haven't had a sexy topic in a minute, and I feel like we've been dabbling back in the physical intimacy realm.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's fun, but it also can be like, just stop, please, just stop. And it also can be traumatizing.
Oh, fully. All of the above. All of the above.
So, where should we begin with this adventure?
I think we should just start off with the horrible stuff first.
Okay.
And then work our way into the good stuff. Get this shitty stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
I think there are so many women who have had, the worst experience of a guy going down on them. And then I also think that women have had the worst experience going down on a guy. Oral sex.
Oh my god. I almost threw up thinking about it.
It's like a full body shiver.
I was only thinking about my experience, but you're right. Going down on someone else and it being horrible is probably even worse.
Yeah. Because, when it's happening to you, you're just like, okay, what are you doing? When you're doing it, when there is a dick in your mouth and you're just like, I can't handle it.
Ew.
I can't. So, let's do it. Okay. Do you have an experience on either end, whether someone going down on you or you going down on them, that you, not fondly remember? What's the opposite of fondly?
That you
fucking hate.
I guess.
That gives you full body shivers.
I mean, I think for me, the worst is gnawing.
The teeth.
The
teeth.
It's not I love a little lip nibble or ear nibble or something, a little.
Yeah.
But not down there.
No.
When you're, it's are you
eating a fucking hamburger?
Yeah.
Or something down there? What is happening?
Your teeth don't need to be out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has, I don't think I've had anything too crazy. I've definitely had my fair share of what are you doing down there?
Just an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the teeth is probably the worst. I think for me, we're just getting really rated R.
Actually, before you say this,
okay.
I did want to say, this just came to my mind, and I feel like I should say this before we actually start talking about it. The reason why I wanted to talk about this, and I think subconsciously just brought up in my mind, and why I wanted to bring it on the podcast, is because I think oral sex is so underrated.
Oh yeah.
On both ends. I think even blowjobs and stuff in a certain degree, but obviously I want someone to go down on me. We're having, like I said, guys, this episode is spicy. Get ready, buckle up. We really just dove right into it.
Yeah.
But because I think I hate when you are getting intimate with somebody and they just want to this isn't a new fucking thing that people have experienced, but when they just jump right into it and completely miss steps, I think if you know how to give head or maybe guide someone on giving head, it makes the actual whole like intimacy piece so much better and more enjoyable for everybody. You get to go off, they go off, like everybody's going off, we're all having a fun time. And I say that because I think I just like, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the situations that I've been in, but they're like just thinking recently of like past like sexual partners and recent sexual partners of like, it really is such an important part of sex that I'm just like, let's discuss this.
Yeah.
Like, why is this missed like 50% of the time?
Yeah.
Doesn't make
more
any
than
sense.
50,
Yeah.
I
was trying to be generous. But like, it's insane to me.
The foreplay is huge. To go from like making out to like having a penis thrust inside you is like too big of a leap.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Oh my God.
It's like you're like making out and you're like, ooh, like I'm like getting like excited.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
oh,
then,
okay.
It's like, whoa.
And now I'm not excited.
Now I'm not
and
excited.
now I'm in pain. And I hate it.
Or it's like, it also can sometimes just go too quick then.
Yeah.
Like I feel like adding in oral or any type of foreplay like makes it more of like a, you know, a thing.
Prolonged thing. Yeah, and just ruins like the energy of it all. Like it's just supposed to be this like fun way to connect with people, and now all of a sudden it just feels like that is when I disassociate when I'm having sex. If like I am like the leap is too big and all of a sudden that's that, it feels like, okay, you're just here for you're not worried about me, and now I'm annoyed. Which is like annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying. When I'm like masturbating or whatever, I'm usually thinking about oral sex.
Same. It's like my favorite.
Yeah. I like fantasize about that more than the actual like
act of
intercourse
piece.
Yeah. So it's like a bummer. But what's crazy, and this is like just me being fully vulnerable, is like when I'm actually having oral sex or when someone's going down on me, I feel like it's really hard for me to get out of my head.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're like, I feel, this is just me, my people-pleasing tendencies. One, I feel bad if they're down there for a while. And then I'm like, I want to like come or whatever and like have like this orgasmic experience. And so I'm like, I feel like I'm so in my head about trying to have that I'm like preventing myself from having that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, come on, be done. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I'll like end it. Instead of like telling them like maybe what I think would feel better, or like, I don't know, just like getting out of my head and like really feeling what it is happening.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I'm like giving head, I'm not thinking that way. But when they are, I'm like wanting it to be a good experience for them. I don't know why.
Oh, that's women. I mean, come on now. I relate to that. I think 2 points to that. I think no matter what kind of like intimate relationship you have with someone, it only gets better the more you know them, because I think there are so many things that happen outside of the bedroom that like kickstart a really good sexual experience, like communication and honesty. Like I think those things play such a big role in like your sex life, because then you feel like more comfortable to say like, oh, this rather than like people pleasing. So obviously like one night stands and things is like, it can be fun, but it's not going to be, at least for women, I don't know, I feel like guys can agree on that too, is like it's not going to be the best because you don't know each other, and you're like, everybody's in this like people pleasing mode of like, oh fuck, like I just want to do it like right, I guess.
Yeah.
I also think too, for me, I like to move around a lot. That's why I like oral sex piece when having sex, because I'm like, okay, it breaks it up a little bit. Like I like to be in like different positions and doing all of these things. Like I totally see if like someone's down, like I don't want to be down there forever. I don't necessarily want you to be down there on me forever either, but like you have to make an effort. Like I think just starting with like, it really annoys me when the effort isn't even like, you don't even offer. But yeah, you want me to suck your dick? What? No.
Yeah.
So we'll start there with like the ways that you fuck up is.
Oh
my God! I thought I heard something.
Little Rue, we can't.
She getting excited
right now. Please stop. Oh my gosh! I don't know what's happening. I click send home, but back to what's not great.
Yeah.
Hygiene is just really important. If my mouth is going somewhere that's not your mouth. I mean, even when it's with your mouth,
yeah,
like I
all around hygiene needs to be had. Like, it really bothers me when we've talked about this before, the like expectation about like body hair. Mm-hmm. It really bothers me when there is this like double standard of like they almost expect women to be fucking pristine down there all the like 100% of the time, and then you go to take off their pants and it's literally like you can't, it's like a fucking forest.
Yeah, and then you're
like,
getting
want
so much in your mouth.
God, I'm like, this is not.
I'm like, oh.
Literally, it's disgusting, and I don't understand why, you know, and like that the reason why they don't want to go down on girls is because they're afraid. I'm like, have you looked in the mirror? Like, take care of yourself.
Yeah, and I don't mind hair. I think it's
Me
when
either.
it's like very unkept and like everywhere that it's hard.
It is.
It's in my mouth.
Yeah.
And in my teeth.
Yeah.
Gross.
I couldn't agree more. And I feel the same. Like, I feel more comfortable when I'm like well maintenance down there. Wow. Maintenance. Forrest Gump here. Jenny. Actually delusional today. That's why we're talking about sex so openly. I feel like most of the time we can be pretty reserved, and I'm like, dick and vagin, cock and
No, I was thinking about, like, I was getting really nervous to have this episode because I was like, we really haven't talked about sex in a while, and I don't know how much I want to say. And now that we're talking to this camera in our living room, I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Who gives a shit? And also, like, this is... I don't know. I like it.
No, I like having these conversations. I like listening to podcasts where they talk about this stuff because it's like conversations that I feel like you don't really have.
Yeah. I think it's hard because we're just not as like vulgar as some, I think.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like be put in that position. I just think I've had not so many, but a lot of like situations recently where I'm like, this keeps on being brought up. But I'm like, I just want to talk about what's horrible. So I like that. Being fucking well taken care of down there is so important.
Yeah, and it's not even like the hair piece. It's like washing.
Yeah.
Like, you can smell really gross. And I honestly don't mind like a sweaty, like post-gym sex or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's I'm probably not really going to go down on you.
Yeah.
Because it's
Nor
just
would
like,
I want you to go down on me either.
It's just like not really great.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
That's just me. That's my own opinion. What are your...
Mine is like so aggressive that it's too much. And in both sense. Like I think I've talked about this before. If I'm going down on you and you put your hand on my head... I hate it. Now, there's a time and a place. I think once I'm like very comfortable with someone and we're in some sort of relationship, there is that communication, honesty. Like, there are other bricks being built in this thing where I'm like, okay, this is hot. Like, you're guiding, that's hot. When I'm just now kind of like figuring you out and it is like the up, down movement, I want to like fucking rip your hand out. Like, I really cannot.
Yeah.
And then on the end of... Like, on my end, if you're going down on me and it's, like, just so, like, you feel like you think that you're hot shit and that you think you know what you're doing, so you're just gonna, like, go right in there and attack. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, I am not, like, I don't understand why that happens, and it happens way more than I think that it should. Like, I just, like, what happened to, like, the soft, gentle caresses? Like, we, like, skip the thigh kisses. Like, what the hell? What are we diving in there for? And then that goes into what we were saying, too, like, about the teeth and all that shit. I'm like, what? This is just so aggressive. An unnecessarily amount of aggression.
When in doubt, slow it down.
Oh, my God, that's perfect. Really. Not speed it up.
Yeah.
We're not Thumper from fucking Bambi. There's no reason.
Yeah, and I'll tell you if I want it faster. Or, like, you know, I feel like sometimes the tension builds because you're going so slow, and then it's like, you know, like, go faster, whatever.
Love it.
Not like, oh my gosh, get away.
Yeah. I think another hard thing for me, too, is, like, when there's no, like, listening to body language, and this really can be, like, any kind of sex, but like specifically with oral sex, like if I'm moving further away from you, like don't follow me up, like there, like I just want you to be a little bit more attentive and listen.
Yeah.
To really get into it, this is like a lot. But like, I don't know if I want you to like use your fingers right away. Like I
Not
don't
right away, but I do want you to use
Yes, but like I don't when it's like it kind of is like borderline like the attacking feeling of before of like when you're like all of a sudden like you go from 0 to 60. Like at first we were just making out and now it's like tongue and fingers all at once. I'm like, "Oh my god. What the fuck? Slow down." Like this is a lot of feeling all happening at once. Like I can't. My brain can't. And then I start to like, oh my god, like you know in those moments of like where you're just kind of like disassociate for a second and you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So I don't think I like that for like not a few minutes. I don't even know like when I'm having sex, time means nothing.
I'm like,
could
we've been doing this for hours, and I look and it's been like 20 minutes.
Yeah, literally. And time has no meaning. But I'm like, I just don't think that is something that I enjoy right away. That's not to say forever because that shit is amazing once you get into it, but I just don't think it needs to happen right away.
Yeah. A few things. Agree with you on the head thing, although I do like when they hold my hair. Because sometimes and like my hair is in my mouth and I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
It's like that we're like a team. Getting this job done.
Literally.
But everything else, slowing it down, please. I think that changing positions or like trying different things, like if you're just gonna do the same thing with your mouth
for fucking 2 minutes,
for 2 minutes,
7 minutes,
it's like maybe it felt good in the beginning, but it's not gonna do it for me. Like you gotta switch it up, just like I feel like I try and switch it up and do different things, because it's like you're like just rubbing me raw.
Yeah.
Like it's like not doing.
Does not feel good.
No.
Yeah.
It's lost the sensation.
It really, yeah.
So like adding the fingers later, I feel like is nice, because that's like the next level, or like switching it up a little bit. Should we talk about what we like?
Oh, let's dive into it.
Okay.
Go. Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the best, and this is like, I don't even know, this guy was sex game was like fucking off the charts. He had like a sex pillow.
Excited. What?
I don't know even how to explain what it is that this man
like
had.
A special pillow for your hips or
I
something?
mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, yes, not kind of, that's exactly what it was. And like that was a game changer for me.
Like it wasn't just like a regular
No,
pillow?
because it was like circular, or like a cylinder almost, and like kind of long and like hard, that it wasn't like a body pillow that you like cuddle up on and it's like soft and squishy. It was like pretty firm, and it almost was like a really big pool noodle.
Interesting. And you put that when you're on your back?
And when you're on your back, I mean, you could do it anyway. You could do it like on, like it was
multi-purpose pillow.
Yes. But I think like that was the best oral sex I've ever received, is having the pillow under my hips to raise up a little bit. That way it was like fully like attentive. I also like to say that like all the lights were off, like it was dim lighting, like I don't feel like I need to feel like I'm at a fucking gyno and like, you know, my legs are in the stirrups. I don't really need that, but I do enjoy being comfortable. I enjoy seeing you're comfortable, and so to like use like things that make this more enjoyable, I was like, this is smart. I also like was like, how many times have you done this? But also
you're good at it.
Yeah, so keep going. So I think like aside from the act itself, using like props in a way that like benefits everybody was like a game changer for me. And now it's something that like I utilize. Like I try to like, I don't have a sex pillow, but like I try to think about these things in order to like make it more comfortable. Or even like if I'm going down on a guy, like I want to be comfortable. I don't want to like, you know, if I'm gonna give head, I want it to be good. Like I'm not about to do this for no reason. Are you kidding me? Like we better be enjoying ourselves, and I want it to be an enjoyable experience for me, because I feel like that even get like it's even hotter, you know, if like the girl is into it. Same with like the guy. If the guy's going down on me and he's like really into it, I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. But like I
Yeah.
want to have him in a position that's like comfortable for me
Yeah.
before we even like begin.
Yeah.
Because it just like whether it's like a prop or a position or a setting in the house or wherever, like it just is so much more comfortable, and then you don't have to really worry about like too much like communication during. I feel like I threw a lot of good things in there, but
did.
the main thing was the use of pillows. Say props,
of
but I'm gonna say
props.
I'm gonna say pillows because I don't know. Like I mean, sure, props are good too, I guess. Except for
Yeah.
I've never really used props.
I don't think I have either.
I feel like I don't know if I need to be that wild. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's just like a comfortability thing with somebody, but I'm also like,
Yeah.
like I'm good with just how it is as long as you can do it right. let's get through this.
Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start there.
I have evolved in my preferences with lighting. Not that I want an overhead light on. Or even
you like light?
Hang
Ellie,
on.
shut up.
Or even like I don't want your like like your nightstand light, like your what is that called?
Night light.
Like your lamp.
Yeah, your lamp.
I don't want that on. But like dim lighting, like I like to be able to see your face. I like to be able to like watch a little bit. I think that's fun. And like if you're enjoying it, then I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And I feel like because I feel like before I used to like want it dark, I would close my eyes. But I also think I was because I was embarrassed or like not confident.
Mm-hmm.
And I've really been trying to like, even if I don't feel that way, if there's some lighting on, just like embracing it. And I think it's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's also like when there is a little bit of lighting, it kind of humanizes them too. Because I think sometimes in my head I would be like, they're like so hot and I am like
This
frumpy
whatever, all of
and
your
whatever.
thoughts. Oh, that's
yeah.
such a good point. Because then you really see them. Not that they're not ugly, but you're also like, you're just a human.
You're just, yeah.
You're just a human.
Yeah, literally. It kind of takes it down on their end too. And then I feel like, I'm
I
like,
like
I'm
that.
hot.
Yeah. Makes you feel better. I guess. I do like that. I think for me, it's more of like a comfort thing. Like, I really only do that with people I feel very, very comfortable with. It's
Yeah.
not like my go-to.
Yeah, I would agree. I also like different positions. I'm like scared to say this on a podcast, but like I like sitting on your face. Like I like
That is my dream. And you know why we both know it is because when we see people, attractive people, I go, I want to sit on his face. But it's like,
it's aggressive, but it's also like it's fun.
it is, but it isn't. I just feel like it's so, I don't know what, I really don't know what it is. I'm sure we could like have our next guest can be like a sex therapist and can
That
tell
would be
us like
awesome.
why we like what we like. But I think it's just this like, okay, so you know that love board that we did like recently or that you did and that I just copied? One of the pictures on mine is the statue of the like man kissing the woman's foot or feet or something like that. And I just feel like it's this like ultimate like
It's
you have the power.
Yeah.
Like I like you. Okay, what? You have power because of like the like him being a man. Not that I'm like trying to say this without being super stereotypical, but I'm just saying like I like guys that are alpha and have power, but I feel like having a space in the bedroom where I'm like I command here.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like connected to them in a way that is like just a shared thing between him and I. Like no one
Yeah.
else is involved, and like what a way to do that than to sit on his fucking face. I
What
love
she
it.
said.
I love it.
So yeah, but I do have to be like very, very comfortable with you
Yes.
because I'm not just gonna do that. And I also feel like I can get pretty in my head about it. Of like, am I like putting too much
Literally
weight
fucking
on or like you
suffocating
know?
you. Yeah. It does. It is an art form.
Yeah.
It really
but I like
is.
being able to like grip their hair and like you know.
Just, I already know.
And yeah, so I think that, and then also, I love like this is more for with like, okay, I'm just gonna say it.
Just do it.
like on a counter or something, if I'm like sitting there and they like go down, like it's more, I think it's like the submissive thing a little bit.
It really is.
Not that I want them to be that way the whole time, but I think it's like, yeah, then
attentive and caring and like, oh, this is just for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh, I do like that.
But I like on the reverse, I like being on my knees.
It gets to a point like in past relationships, I would get frustrated because I felt like it was really one-sided. And if like, I think people, like so many women can relate, is like, you get what you give. So if you want blowjobs 24/7, like I will want something in return, you know? Like I think that's like not probably like a super toxic way of looking at it. But I think like I want to enjoy this experience all the time. I don't want it to feel like it's a chore. And I do like giving blowjobs, but I like it when like we're both feeling it and I feel good and I feel cared for. Like I want to care for you too. But when it becomes this like, oh, like all the time, like that show that we're watching where we rewatching White Lotus, I'm rewatching it and Erica's watching it for the first time, and we're on literally just watched the first episode, and the couple that got married, he was like, oh, do you want to give me a blowjob real quick, like before he goes to talk to the receptionist? And both Erica and I are like, ah. Like, I hate that because I can just already tell, like, the kind of, like, relationship. It's so relatable, and I just am not a fan. Yeah. So I like the, you know, the give and take.
If you can, like, bow down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's nice. Because then, it's like, I will gladly return the favor. Because it is fun.
Yeah.
I have fun doing it. I don't think it's, like, gross or weird. Like, I feel like I like sex. I'm a sexual person, and I like trying different things and doing different things, but I'm not going to do that if I'm the one instigating everything or like doing all the work. Yeah. You know?
I just really like a guy that's just not afraid. I feel like I'm sure it's very intimidating. Like I cannot imagine, like, I don't know, vaginas can be scary. You don't really know where things are if you don't have one, and like, I'm sure if, like, you've never done it or you don't feel comfortable, the last thing you want to do is, like, try something and feel like you're messing up. I don't know. I can see how it can be very intimidating and hard, but, like, something about a guy that, like, you're just starting to, like, fuck every now and again, you know? Oh, God, this makes me sound like such a whatever. But, like, you just, like, go for it.
Yeah.
And, like, I just love that. Like, just try. No one's gonna, like, I mean, you know, like, just try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go for it.
I think that's where, like, the post-sex communication is really key.
I would much rather debrief with the girls than, like, after. And, like, I don't know. I think
it's with them, if they, like, did something and you, like, really liked it, or if they, like, did something but, like, you think it would have been better if they tried this, like...
I feel like the only time that I've done that is when I was in, like, college with the boyfriend that I had in college. I feel like because of my past relationship was, like, so shitty that, like, there was not even any talking or any sex for that matter. So I think, like, recently on any, like, kind of person that I'm seeing, we're not really at, like, a level in the relationship to be comfortable enough to do that. Which is a shame because I can't wait for that to happen.
Do you feel like the guy that in college, like, it made it better? Because you guys talked about it?
I think so, yeah. But it was also more like, it wasn't like a full-on debrief. It was just more like like we were just so, like, in tune. So, like, something would happen in the moment that would receive, like, a really great reaction or not so good, like vice versa, and then that would be repeated or left alone, and then it would just kind of evolve, which I think happens anyways, but that was just, like, to a point. I think that was just because it was, like, so healthy and fun and new, and I hadn't really had a relationship or any really sexual experiences like that. Like, I felt so safe to be doing those kinds of things that I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like, I feel like this is great.
Yeah.
So it's been about a decade. Just kidding.
Oh, you really aged yourself.
I know, I really did. That was a bit much.
So we went to the internet for some oral sex discussion. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you're feeling about Reddit, but ever since we did our Reddit episode, I'm like all about it.
Oh, same. I go for it like all the time. I'm like, wait, help me with this. I did tell Erica though, when I was like Googling Redding it, asking this thing, I was like, you got to be careful what you type into Reddit sometimes, because you find yourself on a forum and you're like, oh my god, exit. I'm like in a public spot and I'm like, oh my god, this is not what I wanted.
One of the first ones, which I feel like is like the age-old debate, is like spit or swallow. And this thread is so funny to me, but I would love to know your thoughts on the matter.
Okay, before you read, goddamn, you're gonna leave me on a little cliffhanger. Okay, spit or swallow. Okay, I hated that this got brought up so much in fucking like high school and stuff, because I think it ruined it for me, and that like age of like, if you're gonna spit, don't do it or whatever. I've come to a point in my life where I'm like, I am comfortable doing with whatever the fuck I want to do, and I fully believe that like women, anyone should do whatever they feel comfortable with, and like also, if your shit tastes nasty, no one wants to swallow it. It's disgusting.
I know.
But also, like, the bad bitch in me is like, of course I fucking swallow. Like, I'm you're already in my mouth. Like,
yeah. I think it's when it's like so much. I try every time, but there's been times when I'm like, this is so much. Like, I'm like, my eyes are watering.
Ew, what the hell? Like, just like,
it's just like,
how much are they giving? Ew. Like, buckets and buckets of cum. That's disgusting. A full-on smoothie. Ew.
I had to like pull it out because I'm like,
it's like a hose. You're like, ah! I just like can't imagine like having it. Oh god, this is gonna make me vomit. But like having it like in my mouth and just like being like.
I know. I feel like you just gotta like do it quick so that you're not thinking about it. Because if you're holding it in there, yeah.
I will have to say though, and I've heard like a lot of things around this of like girls and guys and like just the taste down there. I mean, it's an acquired taste for sure. Like I love when people are like, it tastes like candy, and I'm like, okay, sure it does. But I'm also like, you taking care of yourself and you being like a fit, healthy person and eating right, it honestly like it does matter. And like I like can taste the difference.
Yeah.
I feel like unhealthy men are just like, well, you're like,
yeah.
But yes, I did not know that about you. I'm like learning something new.
But a lot of the responses on this are like, they understand if they don't, but it's like really, I don't even know if attractive is the right word, but more of like, oh, they like accept. A lot of them talking about like acceptance and just like they're just like all in on you type thing. Like this one was like, I won't blame a girl if she doesn't swallow, but I'll love it if she does. It really shows she's accepting your orgasm completely, and that's a big turn on.
I once saw a thing though that was like, it's so much. Oh fuck, I'm gonna mess it up, but it was something along the lines of like, it's so much easier to like stick your parts into something than have like parts in you. Does that make sense? Like that sounds like so weird.
No, it makes
but
sense.
It's so true. Like it's a lot to have things in you already, and then for those things to be like ejaculating, you're also like, this is a lot. It's just a lot happening. So I get that. I get how it can be. I think it just is like a whatever you feel, and also how comfortable you are with that person.
Yeah. But then this thread takes a turn, and they start talking about kissing after. Like, if they've, like, come in the girl's mouth, and then the girl kisses them, and people are like, I don't understand. She was literally just, like, had her mouth on your dick. Why can't you guys kiss?
Yeah.
But then someone was like, as long as there's not cum still in her mouth. And I'm like, that would be crazy.
Oh, my God. People are dirty.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa, that is a thought that I've never had. But I feel like I've been with people who are like,
were we talking about this recently?
Yeah, really hesitant when they've like when I've gone down on them, or vice versa, they've gone down on me, and I'm like, I want to kiss you, and they're like,
Yeah,
they
pull
like
away.
wipe their face on something or like what? I'm like, why?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but like when sexual time comes up, like I am not me. Like
Yeah.
I am feral, and they are too. Everybody
Yeah,
is. Like it
yeah.
just is like a
It's animal instinct.
Yeah, it's animal
Yeah.
instinct. Like it's not. Who are we putting on a show for? Like no one else is here. It's just us.
Yeah.
I would hope. Like I just. It bothers me to the point where I'm like, I don't feel like it's now become like a show, like you're trying to like put on something and like, and then you won't kiss me. I just like did all this work and then you're not going to kiss me. No.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Yeah.
That is, I feel like a hot topic. I don't know how we were talking about this recently.
I don't remember why.
See, oral sex has been coming up, guys. That's why we're talking about it. This one, when I say lighter, I fucking mean it. Stop trying to push my clit inside my body, please. That's so true. Where it's like that's what I'm talking about. Aggressive is like you're just down there like palming it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what? How would you like if I just like went like that to your dick? It wouldn't feel good. Soft, flat tongue, pretend it's ice cream. And then this one said, I bite ice cream though. I'm like, what? How do your teeth even handle that?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that hurts my tooth thinking about it.
Variety gets the engine going, but consistency finishes the race. That's interesting.
That is actually so accurate.
That's very true.
Because, yeah, I know I said, like, probably 10 minutes ago that I'm like, we need to switch it up. But also, if you're doing that too much, then I, like, can't get in a groove of something or, like, get to the point where I'm, like, you know?
It's like just, like, riding the wave. I think at first, like this says, it's, like, fun to switch around, and then once you get into a good spot, like, you're like, okay, I found it. I got it.
Let's finish her out.
See, this is what I like. Eat it for a while before you add fingers. It all feels good, but I like the build-up. And this one says, this right here, I hate when they just throw fingers in me like I'm a bowling ball. Work up to that, please. I absolutely love it. Like a bowling ball, Jesus Christ.
That's a good description.
It really is.
Yeah. Okay, this is really personal, so we can cut this out. But do you feel like you can orgasm easily or like every time?
No.
Do you feel like you orgasm more when it's oral sex or like penetrative?
Oral, for sure.
Really?
That's why I like it so much.
Okay.
I would almost rather, like, in a perfect... It's hard because I like changing it up. Like, I hate when, like, sex becomes, like, a routine and you end up, like, it's not fun and it just does not mark well on the relationship, in my opinion. But, like, when sex becomes at the same time, you start in the same position, you finish in the same position, it's the same noise, it's the same moans, it's the same talk. Like, I hate that. But I will have to say, like, when we're intimate and he is like, yeah, foreplay, whatever, not too much here and there, hanging in, whatever, we're fucking, he finishes and then he goes down on me. Like, that way I feel like it's just the best for me because I feel like, okay, you're good. Like, let it be my turn so I can enjoy, because I think women, it just takes longer and it's very, like, you gotta really know your way around what you're doing regardless of what it is. I just think, like, okay, once you are good, I don't know, that has been, like, some of the best for me because it just makes me feel better. And then it would be, oral for sure. What about you? Same questions.
I feel like it's not that I'm not enjoying it. I'm having a great time. But I don't know that I could probably count on like one hand the amount of times I've had like an orgasm.
Yeah.
And I've had sex more than 5 times.
What? No way.
And I feel like the times that I have, it's like there's been a lot of build-up, but I also feel like it's like been with fingering, which is really interesting because I like don't really like that. But I feel like it, like, I don't know.
It's like probably everything to get to that point, and then that's what gets you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel very, like, similar. I feel like the tongue needs to be in there for sure. But I also think too, that's not to say, because I agree, I think it's very rare that I do. And I think girls in general, unless you found like someone great, that's awesome. But I think it just takes a second. It's a progress. It's not going to be like a 5-minute one and done. But that's not to say that I'm not enjoying the time that I'm spending, even if I'm not orgasming.
Yeah.
Orgasming.
And I also am like, am I? I don't know. Because I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm like getting really like sensitive, or like I'm like, you know, but I'm not. It's not like this like a guy. It's so you can tell. You know that they did. And sometimes I'm like,
I think
like that was like a build up,
age.
and then we're still going and I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Or then it like comes like this and then you go down a little bit and then it's like, oh, again, and then it takes like longer. I get that. I think that's just gross.
Yeah.
I think it just takes like a long time.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
guys have it easy because they're just like, you can fully just be like, oh, okay, well, there it is.
Well, you know, we did the job.
Yeah.
But for myself, like, I feel like I can make my self-orgasm just with, like, my clit. Mm-hmm. But when a guy's doing that... Yeah.
And you're also in control of your mind at the time. Like, it's so much easier because you can, like, it really is, I think... Like, you just know what, you're in a good headspace and you know what feels good. But I also think, too, as much as, like, I love my vibrator, I will have to say, like, there's something about doing it manually that I think...
I got a vibrator and I used it one time and I was like, I don't like it.
That's so funny. Because I think it's important, too, because you learn your body more manually.
Yeah.
And then can help navigate when you're with a partner because you remember like what feels good or like if it's what motion works best for you because you've done it yourself, literally.
Yeah.
I think with a vibrator it really is just like a quick like zip zip, you know, like what what tongue, finger, or dick is gonna do that?
Yeah, that's true. They're not.
None. Yeah, I think oral sex is wonderful. You guys should try it. I think it's just like, I don't know. Sex is just always difficult to talk about. I mean, like we said, there are podcasts and like people out there that can have open conversations. But I think when you're not used to it or it's not something that's like in your vocabulary, it kind of like is a little anxiety inducing. But I also think like
too, when you're not doing it often, it's hard to be like, I don't know.
Yeah, that, and I just think like the more like I feel so much better knowing like, okay, other people are going through the same things that I am or have the same questions or have the same thoughts around it. Like it normalizes sex a little bit and then makes it more enjoyable because it takes me out of the head in the moment where I'm like, oh, is it me? Am I messing up? Am I doing something wrong? Which I think is such a big thing women can feel in the bedroom sometimes. And so like letting that go and knowing like, oh, I was actually talking to my girlfriends about it and they're doing this and they're experiencing this as well. Like it's not just me, it's not just my body. But yeah, I mean, I just think oral sex is so important when it comes to intimacy, and there's a right way and there's a wrong way in my opinion, but I also think it really depends on the person and having like really good communication and trusting the people that you're sleeping with in order to like communicate the best that you can and say what it is that you like or what you don't like. Makes for the best sex no matter what you're doing. So that's my tip.
And I agree with it. So go out there and said something crazy.
Wait, say it.
Go out there and get your clit licked.
Amen, sister.
And have a lovely rest of your week. And you know where to find us. I don't know how we're gonna cut clips for this episode because they're all
it's gonna be like, and the beep and the beep beep beep. Instagram is actually like, you guys are blocked.
So maybe we won't be posting much this week, but hope you enjoyed this episode and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.